Hello, welcome to this update for Europe. Let's see here what's happening because we have many storms coming, especially today across northeastern Europe. So today's July 10th shows some more storms across Poland, Belarus, especially to Ukraine and Belarus and into the Baltic states. So especially today, Thursday, more across Estonia, into Latvia and Lithuania spots of Russia too. And then tomorrow, Friday, we'll start having some more storms in Spain, and especially Saturday. Saturday shows some bigger, more widespread storms across eastern Spain into southern France. And then Sunday, potentially showing storms in Italy as well, some spots in the Adriatic Sea. And then we're still watching for next week a few more storms scattered possible. So let's see what we have for today. For Thursday, July 10th, we do have these level 2 spots of Ukraine into Belarus and the southernmost part of Latvia, and this level 1 as well. We have some areas of chances for lightning across Germany, Austria, Central Europe, and also spots of Spain, a storm or two today. So let's see a level 2 was issued from the Ukraine to Belarus for strong and to damaging wind gusts, large, very large hail, and heavy rain. A strong tornado threat is possible, and this is concerning. I'll show you why. So a tornado threat is possible. A level 1 surrounds the level 2 for similar hazards but lower probabilities. And so an extensive cut-off low still resides east central to Eastern Europe, framed by positive height anomalies, hence not much adjustment to the European wave patterns forecast. This extended outlook, because your issue yesterday, experienced substantial and WP differences, example, placement of synoptic scale fronts over Eastern Europe, which results in rather uncertain outlook. So they might have a different outlook today, depending on what happens. But hence only the broad level areas were added for now. However, current guidance points an active severe weather day for most of Belarus into the Baltic states. So if they issued one today, I bet a small level 3 could come into place here. But let's see some things here. So as you can see on this map, there's this big low pressure across Eastern Europe. So it was further west, and now it's going further northeast to Eastern Europe. So there's the upper low there. There's slightly a small high pressure near the UK, and these lower pressures across the Western Atlantic, they'll go into Spain. This cut-off low, they'll go into Spain and Portugal to bring those storms, especially Saturday and starting tomorrow. Then there's the Azores high in the Atlantic, the big high pressure there. So here, let's see. So an extensive low-level vortex over Ukraine drifts northwest into Belarus. This vortex pushes a warm front towards the Baltic states, more into northern Russia, whereas the cold front shifts east over Ukraine. So the prefrontal air mass destabilization is forecast with rich BL moisture, the modest mid-level lapse rates atop. A belt of 1,000 to 1,500 joules per kilogram Cape over central Ukraine extends into Belarus, where peak values in excess of 2,000 is possible. So a belt of strong mid-upper level flow affects unstable air mass with DLCS in excess of 20 meters per second and similar values in the lowest 3 kilometers. Scattered thunderstorms evolve beyond noon and grow into a mix of organized multi-cells, a few supercells posing threat for large hail and severe gusts and heavy rain, especially from north central Ukraine to Belarus. Cape and sheer space support severe bow echoes with soft the damaging wind gusts, large hail and heavy rain, and more discrete storms also pose a threat for very large hail threat, numerous events in excess of 5 centimeters in diameter possible. And here's the thing, a strong tornado event is possible due to lowered lifting condensation levels, LCL, heights, and curved hodographs. So the lifting condensation levels is like the height where the droplets condense. So lowered, what do they mean by lowered? So if this means that the cloud base will be lower in the atmosphere, and if the cloud base is lower, there's a better chance for tornadoes, especially in a supercell. If the cloud base is lower, tornadoes can form more easily. So that's what they mean. So the lifting condensation levels, the height in meters where the air becomes saturated and clouds start forming after being lifted. So if it's lowered, there's a better chance for tornadoes, and the curved photographs indicate more wind shear as well. That the wind shear for rotating supercells that also favors tornadoes. So just be aware in those areas today and stay weather aware. So, and the Cape is also in excess of 1,000 joules per kilogram. That will also help this. So be aware and relatively strong shear, like I mentioned. So be careful. So further east into Russia, diffuse forcing beneath a strengthening upper reach should keep CI more on the isolated scale, mainly near gradually northern lifting warm front, and any storm which rides along the southern fringe of the warm front will move 2,000 to 4,000 joules per kilogram Cape and 10 for 15 meters per second DOCS. An organized multi-cells axis supercell can bring all types of hazards, including large hail and a tornado threat. So please be careful in those areas like this level 1 across central northern Russia, because to the south is the ridge, and then especially there across Belarus and Ukraine into the Baltic states, I think the highest tornado threat should be. So be careful in those areas and stay safe. Let's see here. There's this hail and lightning threat. So today is Thursday, July 10th, shows across Belarus into Ukraine that hail threat across like 25 to 40%, the 24-hour hail threat. So be careful. Then there's this hatched area here for some hail larger than 5 centimeters in diameter. So be careful across Russia, more areas there, and also across Spain, a storm or two in inland Spain today. So be aware. And yes, some more scared areas, some small probabilities for lightning, and also Turkey. But there's the 3 hour probability shows like that's Wednesday. So Thursday here shows the 3 hour probability is as high as 25% spotted Belarus and hatched for like some hatch all the way to 20% of hail larger than 5 centimeters. So this is a very big threat. Please be careful those storms. So shows like Thursday, this goes still later in the afternoon, some larger hail possible. Friday still shows in those areas because now it's showing like about noon into the afternoon, some high probabilities for hail still in those areas. So be careful Friday, and also across Spain. More storms start on Friday, and then shows northern Spain Friday evening. And as we go into Saturday, starts evolving into eastern Spain there. So be careful in those areas. So now for these storms, let's see here. So this the European model shows like the low pressure there and the storms right over central Belarus, those areas in the Baltic states. So be careful. Let's see, there's Eastern Europe here, so northeast, southeast. Let's put northeast to see it close up. So there's like the average model shows like those storms there, shows in Lithuania as well, the stronger ones in Belarus, but this low pressure, like 1,000 millibars, is quite strong, so it might produce some damaging winds as well. So This goes into Friday weekends a little bit, but still spinning there, the low pressure. So be aware. There's the GFS shows today those severe storms in Belarus, and it has an even stronger low pressure, 998. So be aware those areas. And then the show here like for Cape, the European model, and some other ones too. So it shows like today Belarus. This is still now in the morning, but later shows like spots northern Belarus is even to like 2,000 joules per kilogram. Russia is above 3,000, like they mentioned, and central Belarus in excess of 2,000. So that's a lot of instability for those storms. So be careful. Thursday, Friday still shows further north into Russia, like more than 4,000. So be aware in those areas Friday, Saturday, and then this goes away. And then here, Thursday does show a lot of Cape in Spain for those storms that form in the Pyrenees, but Friday showing even more, like showing even to 3,000 joules per kilogram further to eastern Spain. So there's a lot of energy for those storms. Does show Saturday morning before the storm, some 2,000 joules per kilogram across northeastern Spain. The afternoon less because of the storms, but yeah. And the storms might start early there, some in the morning too. So be aware. Those areas does show here for the storms. Like, let's see if there's a different model. The icon shows Thursday this afternoon, Belarus into western Ukraine, more areas there. Stay safe. There's like let's see if there are any high resolution models here too. There's this one. It already shows storms there now. This goes and they get more severe later in the afternoon, like especially to Lithuania's northern Belarus. So stay safe Thursday, and those ones in Ukraine as well. So this goes and Friday still shows a storm or two in Latvia, southern Sweden, more spots. So stay safe in those areas. There's like the rain accumulation might be higher with a few storms as well. So does show next 2 days in Latvia some spots to even 95 millimeters, some 65 in Lithuania. So be careful in those areas. And let's see if there's anything else here. There's this model too. Let's see if it shows some storms. So it does show like this afternoon, especially in Ukraine, shows a few ones in Poland as well, and into Belarus. This one is not showing too much, so I trust more these other ones that show like in Belarus. So stay safe in those areas. Yeah, and then this goes Friday, still in the Baltic states, into Saturday, still shows a few ones in Russia, Poland, and some storms in Germany, I think or two in Czechia. So be aware in those areas. And here's the thing, this is the low level shear, 0 for 6 kilometers, so it does show across Poland, not Poland, to Belarus and Latvia, spots of Russia, those higher values. So shows even some spots 35, like 30 to 35 meters per second. So please be careful, especially central Belarus into Latvia, showing some higher low level shear this afternoon for any supercells that form there. So be careful in those areas. And there's also the supercell composite, if you're wondering. So it does show higher across Russia into Latvia, but showing a lot into northern Belarus as well. This is 6 p.m., so maybe about 5 p.m. shows something different. Show like into central most Belarus in those areas where there's Cape, there's shear, there's everything together right in the central areas there. So be careful. There's here too some like let's see. There's the lapse rate as well. So shows like 5 p.m. Showing higher over Latvia in those areas, but does show central to west Belarus, some more too. So be aware, but they did mention there in the forecast it might be quite elevated. So stay safe. So what I want to show here, there's this simulated significant tornado parameter that might be interesting. So this is the Swiss model, a high resolution model. It shows the most significant tornado parameters across Russia, right into northern Belarus and eastern Latvia, spots central Belarus as well. So stay safe in those areas. And yeah, let's just see one more thing here. Like there's also the lightning rate. Be careful with lightning those storms. And here like there's let's see if there's something else. There's the updraft listed that I wanted to show as well. So this is also good to see. So it shows some across Latvia, some higher values. This indicates large hail and spots of Belarus. This model doesn't seem to be too excited, but it does show across those areas and also earlier in the afternoon. Belarus, so stay safe. Those storms and everything. Now here show like for this pressure map does show across in Spain and Portugal into France those lower pressures, and then this does go like Friday slight lower pressures, all right? And Saturday, there'll be this curve flow in spots of Iberian circus 1008 millibars there shows this low pressure. And then this is Saturday, Sunday, it dissipates slightly, but especially Saturday will bring those storms. So here, there's like let's see the GFS model first. So it shows Friday, some storms on the Pyrenees, some stronger ones, and maybe they might approach some spots of the coast later in the evening Friday. So Saturday shows some widespread storms across the Pyrenees, northern, northeastern Spain. More spots late in the afternoon throughout the coast too. So Saturday there'll be a lot of storms. So there's the European model, shows like some showers Friday morning, central northeastern Spain. Saturday does show this big belt of storms. There's this goes a lot of rain throughout Saturday and scared thunderstorms. So be careful in those areas. There might be some stronger storms. There's the icon shows like this goes some showers Friday morning possible on the coast, a shower too. And then this goes does show like more storms Saturday morning or during the night into Saturday morning. Then shows this big belt of storms Saturday afternoon. So stay safe, northeastern Spain. There's chart here for the precipitation total. It does show until Monday the highest total is central northeastern Spain near the Pyrenees, but more like central areas in southern France. But shows close to 20 millimeters on the coast. The icon, the European shows like some 52 millimeters central areas and close to 20 spot on the coast. The GFS is more like just 10 millimeters in Barcelona, but more spots to 15 millimeters on the Costa Brava further north on the coast, and shows even to 57 millimeters further inland. So be aware of those areas. Now there's this high resolution model just for today and Friday. Shows like Thursday. Today, a storm or two on the Pyrenees. So today, Thursday, Spain is there on the Pyrenees, not directly over the mountains, but like pre-Pyrenees. So be aware, Thursday this goes and then dissipate there. But Friday already shows some storms by the early mid-afternoon there on the Pyrenees, especially central to eastern Pyrenees. So be careful those areas. They might get very strong. Then the storms come off the Pyrenees by around 4 p.m. And then it shows them getting to the coast. So by 6 p.m. tomorrow, you might have some rain. near the coast there in Spain. So be aware, Friday this goes and some stronger storms in other areas. So stay safe. And this doesn't go until Saturday, but be aware. So let's say this in Spanish too. Entonces va a haber esta gota fría con tormentas el sábado, muchas zonas de España principalmente, en, en la Comunidad Valenciana, en Cataluña y Aragón. Entonces hoy jueves, día 10 más tormentas en los Pirineos, una zona centro de Cataluña, más así centro norte de Cataluña. Y viernes, quizás alguna lluvia costanera, así, cerca del litoral por la mañana y por la tarde muestra tormentas fuertes en los Pirineos, así, Pirineos y pré-Pirineos, así, al inicio de la tarde, después, como a las 4 o 5, ya muestra que estas tormentas salen de los Pirineos y vienen hacia el sur, así. Entonces, precauciones con granizo, viento fuerte y que quizás después de las 6 de la tarde llega así en la costa. Entonces, quizás llegue esta lluvia cerca del litoral mañana a las 6 7 así de la tarde. Entonces, precauciones al mismo tiempo muestra tormentas muy fuertes en Aragón, alguna cosa norte de España y alguna cosa en el sur muy isolada. Pero principalmente después, así, en Aragón y en la delta del Ebro, unas más fuertes. Entonces, precauciones en estas zonas. Y el sábado va a haber estas tormentas más fuertes el sábado, que ya muestra lluvia sábado por la mañana. Y ya muestra como durante la noche, sábado por la mañana, algunas tormentas ya como sábado por la mañana, pero más tarde, como sábado por la tarde, a partir del mediodía, ya muestra este grupo de lluvia y tormentas muy grandes, así como puede haber bastantes, bastante tormentas entre el mediodía y así durante la tarde. Después, por la noche, ya se va todo, pero la mañana y la tarde del sábado va a haber bastante. Y hay un modelo diferente aquí, muestra viernes, así, mañana, quizás, quizás alguna lluvia por la mañana también, y esas tormentas por la tarde. Pero sábado ya muestra un poco de lluvia por la mañana, continúa así, y quizás esta línea de tormentas más fuerte como al mediodía y por la tarde el sábado. Entonces, precauciones el sábado con más lluvias y tormentas y también algunos vientos más fuertes y rayos y todo. Entonces, precauciones es esto. Y el domingo no muestra mucho. Alguna lluvias así en los Pirineos de tarde, sí, alguna lluviasita floja, pero no muestra mucho el domingo, casi nada. Y es esto. So stay safe in those areas. Be careful, especially those storms Saturday there. And there's like this model, there's the European, shows some 11 millimeters, 24, and more storms there. So be aware those areas. Remember, we talked about the Cape and everything, so there'll be instability for those storms there as well. So be careful. And yeah, let's see. So Sunday here's looking interesting. So there's the storms in Spain, southern France Saturday, but Sunday already shows this low pressure goes further east towards Italy. So potentially the west coast of Italy might get some storms Sunday, and then this goes a finger to Rome as well, but especially central to northern Italy, Slovenia. So these storms might be strong on Sunday, especially because of the water temperatures in the Mediterranean are close to 30 degrees in a few areas, so it might fuel those storms too. So stay safe in those areas. There's the GFS shows weaker, but there's a few storms in Italy Sunday, potentially in the Alps as well. So the icon and like shows too, especially the icons showing a lot in central Italy maybe. So stay safe in those areas. Next week is looking interesting. interesting. So like there's Sunday here, but after that still a storm or two in Scandinavia. The icon then brings a front near the UK on Monday. It shows a front in the Azores as well by Tuesday, and does show some storms Central Europe Tuesday. So next week is looking interesting as well. So be aware in those areas. Now those temperatures are still like higher across southwestern Russia because the dominant high pressure system, but does show across Spain and France and Italy. Like this afternoon, they do increase central Spain to 35, 36 spots of France, some 32 degrees. Shows even close to 30 in the UK across London, so be aware. But does show some 30s on the southern coast, but around 26 further north and east. And yeah, in Italy, it's not showing too warm, just some 27, 29. And yeah, there's this air below average temperatures behind that low pressure system across Poland, Lithuania, and those areas some below average temperatures. But this goes Thursday, shows during the night slightly cooler, many spots of Europe. And then does show in the Alps in the highest elevations, even to 2 degrees in the highest points there. But Friday, this goes does show in France to 35 degrees, close to 31 in the UK, spots of Spain to 36 by Friday afternoon. And then in Italy, some high 20s, close to 30s, nothing too crazy, and still below average further north and east. So this goes Saturday should not warm up much because of the storms in Spain, but does show some 30s southwestern Spain, spots of central northern France still. So be aware. And then Sunday does kind of cool down some, those slightly below average temperatures, much of Europe, Sunday morning. This is the minimum temperatures in the morning, but in the afternoon, does increase on Sunday to 27, northeastern Spain, spots of 32 across France, southern Spain in 35, and southeastern Europe still to 36 in Greece and Turkey, a few spots in Turkey to 39, some isolated spots, and like southernmost Turkey near Syria, it's like above 4 degrees, 44, and like 47 in the Middle East. So there it's very hot. And then it shows like in Ukraine, some 30, 31 spots of Romania, so slightly warmer. The UK slightly less than it was before, but this goes Mondays, still pretty warm, but nothing extreme. But yeah, a few spots might be hotter. Like, for example, Tuesday the 15th across southern Spain shows more, and even to 4 degrees on the icon, and spots in southeastern Europe might be hot as well. So be careful. The European on Tuesday is just to 38 in Spain, and like Mondays still shows across France, like, and yeah, so stay safe in those areas. Eh, And be careful in Russia still with those very high temperatures. So here for the accumulation for the whole area does show still uh, still more there across Spain, France, of course, in Italy as well. But in Northeastern Europe, it's not showing anything that crazy. But there was like that heavy rain a few days ago that might have caused flooding. So if more rain falls, it might exacerbate any flooding that happened. So just still be careful in those areas with those storms in Germany, in Russia, those severe storms, and even in Sweden shows more rain, I think, or two in the UK, especially into next week. So stay safe in those areas. Be aware storm or two in the Caucasus in the afternoon or Turkey, and yeah, so stay safe. The rest of the Mediterranean is mainly quiet. So be aware in terms of snow, that doesn't really show much. Next 5 days in Iceland, it's kind of dry. There across Scandinavia's nothing as well. So just like a tiny centimeter in the Alps, it's like 1.7 the European. The GFS is zero point 0.0, the icon 0.00. So be aware in those areas. And in Greenland, of course, shows the GFS, nothing as well, nor in Iceland nor in Scandinavia. But the rainfall accumulation does show some rain in Iceland, yes, next 5 days, and southern Scandinavia shows rain. So be careful. And here shows like spots of Europe, shows some wind, especially like near Greece and some areas. Thursday shows like near the northwestern Azores. And this low pressure in northwestern Europe, northeastern Europe, sorry, shows Friday here, some strong gusts across Sweden and Poland. And then Thursday, today shows some more widespread strong gusts in a few spots, central to eastern Europe because of this low pressure, and southwestern Russia showing some high gusts too. But it shows increasing on Friday during the night in the Baltic states and into Sweden Friday. So be aware in those areas. And of course, those storms who have some big time damaging winds, but the wind from the storms that doesn't show up here. Possibly next month in the UK, showing some wind as well in the Azores. So be aware those areas. And yeah, stay safe. There's this high resolution model for the wind that shows the wind from the storms. And a few storms are showing as high as like 123 km per gust in a few storms. So really be careful in those areas. And yeah, stay safe. The image of the day is this big storm over the ocean I saw last year in Spain. So yeah, stay safe.